Morning, Internet. Today is Thursday, the 9th of November, and I'd like to talk to you about a funny question somebody posed me the other day. So, which political party would I vote for? I have to say, I would not vote for any political party anywhere in the Western Hemisphere and probably anywhere else right now. I ask you, is it a coincidence that all the major Western nations have fallen over themselves to prove their allegiance to the USA and go to war with them on the flimsiest of pretexts? Had we had a proper consultation before, would any of these wars have occurred? I think not. They say hindsight is 50-50, but what about foresight? I say that the parliamentary road to democracy as it exists today is dead, and it is dead for a very good reason. It's based on the idiotic and wholly erroneous idea that the people who represent us will act with our best interests at heart. And I ask you, when has this ever been the case? I understand very well that a system that would subject every single decision to public scrutiny is very probably impossible. Even if the public were all qualified to understand every single problem and to vote according to the highest ethical standards, we very likely would not be able to come up with an amicable and workable agreement on many important issues. On the other hand, the present democratic system offers absolutely no other choice for public involvement in the decision-making process than a cross on a piece of paper once every 4 years. And this is, to put it mildly, absolutely ridiculous. It certainly is not how a license to go to war and kill and wound hundreds of civilians while sustaining equally horrendous casualties ourselves should ever be taken. I submit that the parliamentary democracy is dead, and that we should bury it because it is stinking, and after a brief moment of mourning, can we, for God's sake, get on with the process of devising a more effective and inclusive political system? Is it possible to devise a system that is robust enough to withstand efforts by big business to corrupt and that places people before profits? I personally believe that it is perfectly possible when we accept that limits must be set on power itself. I also believe that the present system of parliamentary democracy has flaws built in that allow it to be abused and manipulated and that render it ineffective in countering the real problems of the world which require public involvement on a massive scale. The present system provides little by which ordinary citizens can take responsibility for their own lives or those of others. This is not because government is too big, as Ronald Reagan once claimed, but because it lacks public oversight and is effectively controlled entirely by money, which means by big business, the banks, and so on. So, instead of voting for big business and the banks, what I would do is to participate in every possible form of social and political activism, from joining a union to fighting for civil rights and protesting against gun violence and all those other causes. We ordinary people have to sabotage the system and make it impossible to operate without our explicit consent. And at the same time, we have to build up an alternative system in which we are working together effectively and expressing our solidarity through our collaboration along a wide range of issues. Those who look closely can find evidence of this already happening in almost every realm of public life. In factories and distribution centres, on the internet and at harbours and on public transports, we are seizing the means of communication and with them the means of production. Only huge numbers of us can provide sufficient mass to this democratizing process of people fighting for and winning back the rights that they have been deprived of since the introduction of neoliberalism. That is my thought for the day. Get involved in a union. Get involved in political activism. The more of us that do this, the sooner the process is going to transform our society. If you're just sitting on your couch watching it all unfold, then you're not really participating, are you?